No man is an island unto himself, and this is the quintessential focus of working together. In a world where barriers of all kinds are crumbling quickly, the need to work together is getting highly emphasized. The first section of this lesson explains the meaning of group dynamics, discusses formation of groups, and talks about the different type of groups commonly found in any organization. It also highlights the distinction between groups and teams and mentions different types of work teams. The second section focuses on analyzing group interaction, elaborates on issues faced in teamwork, and briefly looks at the dynamics of informal groups. The third section traces the sources of conflicts in teams, explains the advantage and disadvantage of working in teams, and tells you how to convert individual performers into good team players. Groups are inevitable as a norm of working in an organization, and yet you may think that it is easier to work alone than in a group. Sometimes you may find that those who work very well as individuals may fail miserably as a group member. What then are the forces which operate in the group? Group is a significant unit of sociology, which contributes immensely to the understanding of organizational behavior. One particular view interprets group dynamics as an attempt to describe how a group should be organized and conducted. Here, democratic leadership, member participation, and overall cooperation are stressed. This is, of course, a normative view. On the other hand, there is a view that it constitutes a set of techniques. A group can be defined as a collection of individuals in which there is interaction among members, perceptions of group membership, shared norms and values, and fate interdependence. How then do groups get formed? Let us try and see the process of group formation. The basic question that we all would want to ask is, why do we form groups? There are some classical theories of group formation which explain why people affiliate or form groups. Propinquity theory is one such way of expanding this. This theory simply says that individuals affiliate with each other because of spatial or geographical closeness. For example, people working in the same department are more likely to form a group than people coming from different departments. There is another theory which seeks to explain this at a deeper level. This theory focuses on activities, interactions, and sentiments. All these are directly related to one another. This propounds that more the people share their activities, more they will interact with one another, and the stronger would be their sentiments for one another, and vice versa. The five-stage model of group formation is one of the most popular models. This model traces the evaluation of groups in a sequence. Here, the groups pass through five main stages: forming, storming, naming, performing, and adjourning. There's a lot of uncertainty during the first stage about issue like structure, leadership, and even its basic purpose. During the second stage, there is a lot of intra-group conflicts because of opposition to constraints imposed by group on individuality. At the end of this stage of storming, clear leadership emerges. In the naming stage, close relationships evolve and the group shows cohesiveness. The next stage is the stage of performing. Here the structure is fully operational and accepted by the members. Now the energy within the group flows from knowing and understanding one another to performing the task at hand. For groups which are permanent in nature, performing is the last stage. However, for temporary teams, committees, task forces, and such other groups, the last stage is the stage of adjourning. In this stage, the group prepares to disband itself. High task performance is here replaced by winding up activities. In an organizational context, there are several types of groups. If you look around in your own workplace, then you will see that groups assume numerous dimensions, such as large, small, formal, or informal. There may be groups which are coalitions, membership, or reference groups, and each of these types have various characteristics and distinct impact on its members. Often we use groups and teams interchangeably, but they are not one and the same. It is important to establish this distinction at the outset so that While we are dealing with these in an organizational context, we are sure of the role that each has to play. A work group's performance is a simple addition of effort of all the individual members' work. There is positive energy which is generated because of collective effort. Here, the individual effort leads to a greater level of performance, which is greater than the mere addition of all the individual efforts. Here, there is synergy, which simply enhances the level of performance because of the collective dynamism of the team. With this, it is amply clear that organizations should use teams to capitalize on the team synergy for better results and higher effectiveness. After having looked into the significance of using teams for higher performance levels, it would be in place to discuss the different type of teams that you will find in any organization. These teams can be classified as problem-solving teams, self-managed teams, cross-functional teams, and virtual teams. Let's look at each of them separately. When employees from the same department or work area meet regularly to discuss ways and means of improving quality, work environment, or efficiency, we have a typical problem-solving team. Self-managed work teams constitute of 10 to 15 employees who perform highly related and interdependent jobs. These members take on many of the responsibilities of their former supervisors. These would generally include key managerial functions like planning and scheduling of work, making crucial work decisions, and problem solving. Today, quite a few organizations use self-managed teams to leverage on collective performance. Cross-functional teams are made up of employees from the same level in the organizational hierarchy, but hailing from different functional areas. These employees come together to accomplish some common task. For instance, a typical US airway team consists of flight crew, mechanics, ramp personnel, dispatchers, and reservation agents. These horizontal across boundary teams are popular because of their ability to handle complex problems. Be it in Toyota or Ford or Nissan, all these organizations have successfully used these teams to accomplish non-conventional and huge tasks. In this age of information technology where everything is fast gaining a virtual dimension, how can teams remain real for long? Real teams work face to face, whereas virtual ones simply work from screen to screen. That is, from one computer to another. Just imagine this. If you need to coordinate with a colleague of yours who's based in your branch office in Bangalore, then what do? The fact that you both are supposed to work on the same project together despite your geographical boundaries makes the task look real tough. But what if your company has a wide area network, which facilitates online communication with your colleague? Then I think you would say that, well, it's also easy to work with him. This is the technological edge which has smoothened the problem of working together in real time through virtual teams. So if 10 people are scattered in different places, they can still function as a team because of this facility. Working in a team will involve a set of variables which will make it both challenging and tricky. When in a team, we have to communicate more vigorously and effectively than when we are alone. There is a whole range of interpersonal issues to handle in a team, and it is important that a team brings added value to the work as well as individuals who are involved in the effort. Teams cannot merely operate as corporate fads. They have to accomplish and prove that a collective effort is more beneficial than an individual one. Sometimes teams are merely put together without any evident benefit of team effort. This could be counterproductive. Where individuals are doing a good job, if teams cannot do a better one, then it is prudential to continue with individual work style. If the tasks are interdependent, it makes sense to have a team rather than a set of individuals working in isolation. If you want to understand the need for a team and what a team can achieve, then just sit back and watch the Aamir Khan movie Lagaan once more. These issues are so beautifully depicted in this celluloid wonder that you will see the magic of a team and how success happens simply because of people's obsession with a common goal. We often see that some groups are more successful and closely knit than others. Issues such as formal leadership patterns, roles within group, role identity, role perception and clarity, Role expectations and role conflicts play a significant role in determining group dynamics. And lastly, norms play a pivotal role in guiding group behavior. These variables often create a complex ambience for the members to deal with. Each variable significantly adds to the range of issues that need to be handled while working in a group. A good manager has to be aware of the impact of all these variables on teamwork and should essentially learn to manage groups by managing the influence of these variables. Let us understand the dynamics of an informal group. Unlike in a formal group, in an informal group, there are no formally specified goals and group relationships. A strict distinction between the two should be avoided because formal group structures often have informal groups within them, and informal groups at times may assume the garb of formal groups. People tend to switch roles from one group setting to another. For instance, a middle manager who's a member of a formal group may become a leader of a dissident informal group. As mentioned earlier, one will always find working in teams or groups more difficult than working individually. There would be issues of adjusting to others' needs, more enhanced interaction needs, or simply firefighting. It may even mean getting caught up in difficult situations and struggling to solve interpersonal complications. Conflicts are inevitable in any group situation. Even the best teams have had their share of conflicts. So, what causes conflicts? At the outset, the kind of culture prevalent within the organization as well as in the society at large itself could create challenges for team functioning. Organizations will have to respond to these challenges if they have to harness the potential of teams for growth. Teams can be immensely useful in increasing the motivation of the employees. This happens because of increased level of involvement in teams and because of jobs becoming more meaningful in teams. Greater productivity happens because of the synergy generated in the team, and due to interpersonal bonding, employees experience greater satisfaction. Teams foster common goals and prevent individuals from thinking selfishly. Teams re-emphasize the need for expanded training on the job, thus enabling technical skill enhancement and interpersonal skills. Despite this all, teams may suffer from infighting over work distribution, decision-making and participation, as well as member indifference. Conflicts, competitiveness and hostility generally handicap teams. People suffer a high degree of stress because of being members of a team. Team members may indulge in self-interest forming coalitions to reward and punish for personal benefits. This explains the need to evaluate the contribution of a team before using it to achieve organizational objectives. A team could be the best alternative if used judiciously and with prudence. Let us look at how to create effective team. The fundamental question that any practicing manager has to answer is, how does one create an effective work team? While creating a winning team, a few things will have to be borne in mind. Let us see the important aspects that need to be looked into to create an effective work team. Selection. While selecting people for a team, both their technical as well as people skills should be taken into account. Training. Individual employees can be converted into team players through training. There are a whole range of consultants and trainers who help organizations in training people to play effective team roles. Companies like Tata Infotech, BPCL, Larsen & Toubro and ICICI do take training in team management seriously to help employees in developing the necessary team skills. Rewards. The reward system should essentially be geared up to help employees to indulge in cooperative rather than competitive efforts. This means the sound team orientation should be spotted and rewarded. Incentives, promotions, pay hikes and other rewards should be linked to the contribution of individuals as collaborative team members.